Brownville installed a series of shared septic systems for its two village areas in 1989. What was the motivation for the town to invest in shared septic systems as opposed to expanding the public sewer lines or requiring property owners to construct their own on-site septic systems?
To my best knowledge, in 1989, the town looked at all the individual straight pipes going into the river. And I'm sure they felt that they didn't want to put that burden upon the landowners and to isolate all those sewers to every family home or group homes throughout. It looks, looking at the records, they did feasibility studies at that time and decided that group clusters or single homes was the most economical way to go for the town of Brownville at that time. Putting river crossings, finding areas to put big leach fields or even some type of treatment plants, I think the expense would have been too great for the town at that time.
Okay. Was that, like, did the town just decide that it was time to eliminate the straight pipes? Was that at the instigation of the state or the federal government?
That would have been actually EPA and the Safe Drinking Water Act would have created that to happen in 1989. They did that throughout the state.
Okay. And how were those new systems funded?
Those were both funded through rural development,
Okay.
RD.
How many shared septic systems do you operate, and how many properties are tied into each one?
In the village, there's 11 fields. There's about 100 customers there. I can't tell you exact properties, but it's 100 customers. The Pleasant Street system takes about 15 customers, and then the rest of them throughout the village area are anywhere from single to 3 family homes.
Okay. And then there's a 12th system also, or?
There's a 12 system, which is the junction system, which that one serves about 400 people.
Wow.
Or about 700 people, about 400 customers, or 300 customers.
And that's all in one community
That's all in
septic
one. That's
system?
all in one. That system has 4 pump stations and has all gravity line and force mains to a main pump station, which pumps to a big leach bed system, which is basically no different than a small one. Only covers around 16 acres.
And you tell me that one has 12 cells in it?
That one has 12 cells in it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. These systems are owned and operated by the town of Brownville, is that correct?
Yep.
And what's your typical maintenance routine to keep them functioning properly?
If we look at the we call the treatment plant, which is a junction system, because that really is a true treatment. That one requires maintenance of about 40 hours a week. It's pretty constant. That system has 4 16,000 gallon holding tanks, which has to be, the sludge has to be, or the septic has to be removed from them 3 times a year, spread on our own spread fields that are on site. And we have 37 pumps within the system that all have to be changed on a yearly basis or looked at and maintained. And there's a fair amount of labor involved in just maintenance. The treatment side of the plant is very simple. It's basically bugs and doing their job, but the maintenance side of it's quite extensive.
And what about on the smaller systems? What kind of a maintenance routine is for that?
Same idea. We have to remove the sludge from all those tanks, or the septic. I keep calling it sludge, but it's really septic.
And you do that annually?
And that has to be done. That's on a rotating schedule every 3 years, but with 11, we're always pumping something every year.
Right.
And so we end up pumping them, moving it to junction, and then spreading on our fields.
And I think on the phone, didn't you tell me that you use 6 of the cells in the large system and then rest the other 6?
Yep.
Why don't you
Yes.
describe that for us?
The way we do that is we actually have a dosing chamber, which they call, which is no more than just big wet wells with 3 pumps in each wet well. Each pump goes to a system of beds. The beds are 2 beds. We run them for 1 year. We change them every June and switch them to the other side. So you run them for a year, you rest them for a year. And we've run that very, very, very close, and I'm quite a person on believing in how it was designed, and we follow the operating manual very close to how to run the plant. That's some of the success I think we've had in these plants is we pay real close attention of when we're resting our beds, how much we're loading the beds, you know, that type of stuff. Make sure that nothing's getting over the weirs and getting out into the bed.